What's up, guys? Firewilley here, back again with you with a new game. This game here is called Banished. This is a game I've been playing a lot of on my over on Twitch, doing my live streaming and whatnot, and it's been a lot of fun. I've had lots of people come in and watch me. They're wondering what the game is, things like that. So I finally decided, you know what? If you guys like it, I know my YouTubers are gonna like it. So here we go. Basically what this is a city simulation kind of game. A lot of people compare it to Age of Empires. I don't know, I never really played Age of Empires, but it reminds me a lot of like Sim City. You get a little bit of a mixture in with the people and whatnot. You get a little bit of interaction there going on. They get to have jobs, and you basically get to build up your entire town. Like it's a little colony here you're trying to start out. There's not really like a timestamp on when this period is. If I was to put one, I'd say anywhere between the 1500s and the 1700s, somewhere in there-ish. But basically, what you're going to want to do is you slowly start off with a little bit of people, and you go from there. I'm going to right here in the first episode, we're just going to go ahead and go over a few of the things right away. The name of this town is Sheepston. It is set on easy mode, and it's only for the for YouTube purposes. I want it to be pretty much as easy as possible here. And the population right now is we currently have 12 adults, 11 children, no students. It is early spring in year number 1. The current temperature is 34 degrees. I currently have stored logs of 150, stored firewood 400, and food at 2,400. Now, you guys don't really understand what that means right now, but you soon will. Basically, I want more wood, and I want a lot more food right now. I currently have some stored stone, which is good, because you're going to need stone and you're going to need iron to build more places. Now, basically what we have to begin with is we have 12 people, or 12 adults, and for every 2 adults you want another house. That's basically the rule of the game. The general idea rule of the game is every 2 people, a new house. So we currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses. We have a storage barn, which currently has a few materials inside of it, and we currently have a stockpile with as well a few materials in it. We're going to need to make a new one of those soon, though, because this one is almost full. Alright, so I currently have the game paused, so we can go over this. And I'm going to try and go over it as fast as we can. I've been trying to so far, and we'll see if we can't continue on. This down here, the bottom, very bottom left, is the event log. It's going to tell us when a new person is born, when a new person becomes an adult, when somebody unfortunately dies. It's going to tell you when you're low on any of your materials, whether it's stone, iron, food, firewood, logs, etc. Now these are the main 2 that I'll have up most of the time, these 2 little additions down here in the bottom left. I also bring in this right here. What this is the professions, and this is everybody's job right here. Right now it's a bunch of zeros because I have nothing built. However, I do have 12 laborers, which are my 12 adults. So every time I get something, I'll just click the up button, and it'll add them to that section. So we'll be using that a lot. So alright, to start off, we'll go with the very beginning right here. This right here is our is what we have that is in charge of basically the speed of the game. You know, you have the start button, or the play button, you have the pause button, which is what we're on right now. It tells you what you're currently at. 1x is just normal, regular speed. You can go all the way up to 10x. It's 1x, 2x, 5x, 10x. This button right here is your tools and reports, which is where you get these from. You also have a map in here if you want it. You also have that in there, and there's also the limits that you have set for everything, which right now we're going to go ahead and raise the logs up to about 1,000. We'll raise the stone up to 500 and the iron up to 500. And we'll raise that up to 250. Alright, now this is priority, and what you're going to do is you're going to go through here and you're just going to highlight it like that, like whatever you want to highlight, and that will make that, whatever you have right there, top priority. Usually you use it if you want to build a house and want to have it built immediately. You can take screenshots if you want to, and this is the little help menu. These are our houses. We have a simple wooden house, which looks like that, which is what these are. You also have a kind of a stone house, and they're not always the same. They can be different. Then you have a boarding house, which is kind of like a hotel, basically. Then there are roads, simple roads, and I'm actually going to go ahead and build one of these right now. I'll show you what they do. And this is just a simple dirt road. And it allows for easier travel throughout the area, throughout the town, throughout all of this. And this is basically our map, our giant map. And what you want to start off with is a flatter area. If you want to work in the harder type of areas, I suggest not doing a valley. I selected valley. You can use a mountain one if you want to. You can also work on a small, medium, or large map. I picked a large map with valley, and it gave me a very nice, I mean, this is very rare right here, with this huge flat area that we do have. It typically spawns you next, like this is our spawn area. It typically spawns you next to the water, but you actually want to be closer to the bigger water. So we're going to have to build a bridge across over to here to where we're going to have some fishing docks set up. And we'll get into that here in a second. Yes, but you also have stone roads, which we'll get to those later on. It also makes things go faster. People will walk faster than they will on dirt. You also have wooden bridges, which we're going to get to, and you also have tunnels, which we'll get to later on, maybe. Here you have the storage barn, which you already have one. You also have stockpile, which, like I said, I'm going to need another one of those, so we'll go ahead and put that one there. You also have a market, which is a fairly sized market area. And then you have a little trading post, which you put along the river. From that point, you have a well, which we're going to have to put in eventually. It helps stop fires, because there are disasters in the world. So you also have a schoolhouse, like so. You also have a hospital, and then there is a town hall. There's also a town chapel, and then a cemetery, which you can make as big as you want. And now in the food area, production area, you have a field, which you can make as big as you want. You also have an orchard. You can make it as big as you want. Well, not really as big as you want. I mean, there are like limits. A pasture, which we're actually going to put right there. There is a fishing dock, which you can see the yellow line around it is the area it controls. You basically don't want to have more than one fishing dock in that area. You also have a hunter's cabin, who also has a yellow ring around it, and then there is a gatherer's hut as well, and we will get into that very soon. From that point, you have like your resources. You have a woodcutter, which cuts the firewood, takes the wood, cuts it into firewood. You have the forester's lodge, which they go out, and whatever trees they cut down, they'll go back out and plant more trees there. So it's a consistent, constantly getting new trees. Then you have an herbalist who goes out and gets basically medicine and stuff like that. You have a blacksmith to make tools. You have a tailor who will make warm clothing for you. You also have a, in case you want to put in like a bar or a tavern. Then there's a mine that you'll put up against the one of these hillsides here, and it will actually help you get iron out. And then you have a giant quarry that you put out here to help you get stone. Then there are the remove resources tools, which you're going to use immediately. We will actually use one right here. We'll go out to about there. Yeah, we'll go out to about there. And we'll take out all of that as well. And we're going to make ourselves a nice little walkway. So we're going to take out that as well. Alright, so that basically takes out everything. This one here, the harvest trees, just takes out the trees. This one will take out just the stone. This one will take out just the iron. And then there's like your deletion tools, like to erase roads and etc. So that's basically it. We're going to go ahead and start now. I currently have, because I do have something that needs to be built, which is the pasture right here. It says I need 2 builders, so we'll go ahead and add 2 builders to that. The rest of these guys are laborers, and the first thing they're going to do is come out and take care of the pathways that I'm trying to get built here when I remove the resources. So, all right, let me go ahead and get me a walkway built that way. We're going to have a bridge built across right to there, which means I'll need 2 more builders, and that'll leave me with 8 laborers. All right, so let's start it up. We'll go to 10 and watch them scatter and watch them go. The reserve on firewood is low, go figure. They are getting right to work on that. You can see right there. We'll go ahead and pause it real quick. All I gotta do is click on that, click cattle, because that's obviously what I have around here. And that will give me a herdsman that it says I need, so we'll get that one guy. He'll gather up all the cattle, throw them in here, and then we can start harvesting some cattle, whether we use it for the leather, for the meat, for everything, basically. Alright, we'll go ahead and continue on with that. These guys are going to come out here. They're going to do their little jobs. Let's slow this down one more. Here we go. You can hear the trees falling. They come out here and they start doing this. They pick the stuff up. They head back into town. It does rain a lot. It rains a lot. A lot more than I want it to. It also snows in the wintertime. But you can see right now we're in early spring. Now, this is where they're going to build something. They're going to build a bridge right there. All I gotta do is click on what the area is. It tells me what they need to do. So remove 0 0, which is if there's a tree or a stone, it'll say like 1 of 1, 2 of 2, or 0 of 1, whatever, until they remove it. Now, logs, they need 24. They currently have 18, so they're bringing some in from the storage area. As well as stone, they need 6 of those, so they'll bring those over soon. And then it'll slowly start being built. See? They're just bringing more. You see all these people going to work out here. And eventually you're going to have a lot more jobs than you do people. Now the hearts you see down below here for your health, and the stars are for your happiness of your citizens. So we are going into late spring. These guys are doing a lot of work, not really on anything I want. Like, they really need to get to work on this thing. I don't know why they're taking their time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the increase priority, and I'm going to highlight that. That means that they should get over here and start getting to work. And it looks like they will shortly. All they need is 6 pieces of stone. There we go. And the bridge is going to be built. Currently at 65%. What is their holdup? Here we go. There we go. There, our bridge is built. Now they can come over here and quickly take out this whole area here. I'm going to go ahead and click on the fishing tool so we can get this thing set up where we need it. Should be about right there. Perfect. They're out here doing their job. This game does autosave often, so keep that in mind. Get us a road leading out here to our fishing area. Right to there. Perfect. Alright. What we will also do is we will throw a gatherer's hut out here. And we will also throw a forester's lodge out here as well. And what this will do is give us an area out here that we can basically use for whatever we want. See, our reserve on food is low, and our reserve on firewood is low. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and, there you go. Get us a road going out this way now, to where we will have another gatherer's hut and forester's lodge. We'll do it right there, and right there. What we will also put out here is a hunter's cabin. We'll put that right there. See, right now I need 15 builders. I only have 11. I have no more laborers right now. So it's just going to take them a lot longer to do that, to get all that done. But they're doing a pretty good job on working on it. So right now I have no food, so this is a huge problem we're having right now. Because if we head into if we head into winter with no food, people will die of starvation. People might actually start dying very soon, actually, which is not a good start. They're starting to bring some stuff along. Here, we'll turn it down to just a speed of 2. They need 2 more stone, and then they can start building the fishing hut, or the fishing dock. I don't know why I keep calling it a hut. So they're getting on that. I do like the look here of like the water and whatnot. It looks very nice. I don't know why these guys are over here. Alright, so he's doing some building on that. It's a very relaxing game once you can get into it. I've been talking a lot in this first episode just to basically give you guys like the basics of it, so, and to show you exactly what I'm doing without having to explain every time. So alright, so when it gets finished, I'm going to have to add some fishermen, which I think it asked for 4 right away. We'll see how many builders it takes away from my people, because I may have to immediately get 4 in there to get some food started. Oh, where are you going, man? 6% complete, 96% complete. 4 more to go, and you're walking away? How are these guys doing up here? Not bad. Need more stone. They need more of everything. And that is the Forester's Lodge, which really sucks because I don't need a Forester's Lodge right now. Like immediately. I need the food process done very soon. Alright, so this person over here should fix it. Get it good. Get that last few percent. Perfect, right there. Okay, so automatically it says we need 4 fishermen. So I will give them 4 fishermen. Alright, so they're coming out here and they're going to start to get to work on this gatherer's hut. And I'm actually going to make this a major priority right now, so. what gatherers do is they go out and they look for berries and basically anything they can find on the ground. They bring out, I mean, literally roots, mushrooms, etc. Alright, so we have a fisherman out here. He's doing a little fishing job. Ain't doing too bad. And this will give you the stats of what they got. So far they got 5 fish, which is not enough to feed a basically 50 or basically 30 people. Come out here and get to work on this now. It rains a lot, and it's not fun. That's the only drawback. Even when you put weather on mild. Alright, so we got us another worker, which is great. We'll add him as a builder real quick. And then we're going to end up taking away some of these builders and getting us some gatherers going. Until I can get that food going. We need to get our food back up very soon. Alright. So we have 4 gatherers, 4 fishermen. The little icon you can see right there means that they are hungry. They have no food. One thing I will need is a woodcutter. Pardon me. We'll go ahead and add him right there. We're going to have to make that a priority, because people will die of freezing to death. We do have a forester's lodge going now. We'll get us 1 forester. Now that's the thing, you don't have to have all of them. You only have to have a little bit if you need. Alright, so it's starting to become late autumn. You can tell by the ground. It's starting to get a little snowy. Cows are kind of going crazy. Not giving me any stats on that yet. This is priority, people. Get on it. You see right there, 0 of 5. So they got to come in there and start taking all that out. What have they found so far? Onions and mushrooms. I'm not doing too bad. There it says that they've taken out 2 of 5. Now 3 of 5, 4 of 5. Once they have it all removed, that's when we'll start bringing in the logs and the stones. It's a very patient game. It can be boring at sometimes, and sometimes it can just be very busy. Like you have too much to do, or you're trying to basically save the village, and you got to manage your workers correctly. What's the hold up, people? Come on now. Get over here and get to work. Alright, so we now have 4 more gatherers, which I will take one of them away and add them as a builder. So we'll have 2 builders and a bunch of gatherers, because I want to see this go up. Yeah, there we go. Well, it was going up. They're finding some roots and berries out here. The foresters have found some stone and some logs, of course. It does autosave often, so like the game will pause on you. Don't think it's the game freezing on you. It's actually autosaving. So our town, as you can see, is already just slowly getting bigger. We're getting more and more adults. The food we're trying to get under control. So far, so good. So we have another adult. I'll get them as a builder real quick, since our food is kind of doing pretty good. Now we have 16 people. That means we should have 8 houses, but I'm going to leave it at 6 because I don't want to have a huge population burst. Because if I do get a huge population burst, I won't be able to feed them, and eventually I'll die of starvation. All right, so they're almost done here, which means I'll have to get a woodcutter so we can get firewood going. Almost done. Alright, I'm going to take one of the builders away and add him as a woodcutter. And I'm going to go ahead and raise the limit on the wood, because otherwise once it reaches 200 it'll just stop. And that's not what you want, because 200 is not enough. How are they doing? 98 fish? That's not bad. Oh, see, they're back down to 0. Not good. See, some of these houses don't have food, but some of them do have food. And it's weird because like this one here has a ton of food, and they don't need a ton of food, but they don't share. They're very very selfish, like 294 potatoes. So some of the things you can get going is you can start doing, if you'd like, if it's the way that you'd like to go, you can start getting fields going, crops. You can get orchards going. I don't like to do that yet, at least not right off the bat. I like to get gatherers' huts and things like that going right away. Alright, so they went ahead and took in all that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to come up here and I'm going to get them to start collecting all this stone in this area. And I'm going to get them to collect all the iron in that area also. Winter times can be very harsh on you. That's why you gotta be prepared. You want to be prepared for the winters. Now the good news, you don't have to worry about old age until year number 10. That's usually when the old age starts kicking in and people start dying of old age. The drawback is the 13 people who you started with, the 13 adults, will die within between year 10 and 15. So you have to be prepared for that. Now, one of the drawbacks with that is if you build a school, so the school children will go to school. What it is right now, how it is, because we have no school set up. So at the age of 10, the school children will the kids will become adults. That's when they can move out, move into their own house, start their own family. I know, kind of sounds messed up. If you do build a schoolhouse, those 10-year-olds, which are now having jobs at the age of 10, are now going to school at the age of 10, and they'll be there until they're 21, which means they're not working between the age of 10 and 21. So, you will be having no adults. All of a sudden you'll have like 15 students, and next thing you know you're like running out of food like really bad, because you have 15 students who are usually out there looking for gathering up food and harvesting and taking care of or being herdsmen, taking care of the animals and things like that, are suddenly now at school. So nobody's doing that. Nobody's getting you more and more food, and you run into major problems. Everybody starts dying of starvation, and then you have to quickly close the school, get those kids back to working. You're trying to run child labor, basically. It's pretty interesting. All right, so they're starting to get this forester's lodge built. That's good. So that's why I like to wait on the school until I have a good grasp on my town, how my town's going to act, as well as have a decent amount of adults and a bunch of food. Alright. What we're going to end up doing is working our way down into here, and we'll probably build some more houses, and maybe a couple of crops, a couple orchards, things like that. But one of the main things I wanted to do was stay far away from the town to build the gatherer's hut, because like I say, they got that circle going around right here, and you don't really want that to impede on the town. It's kind of good where it's at right now, because this is the forest kind of area. The forest area is right here, and that's where you want the gatherers to be, is in the forest. And I went ahead and did it over here as well, because, like, for example, all the gatherers have to take all the food here and then up here to the storage areas. These ones as well. So what you're going to do is, like, for example, if I come down here and start a town, and I have a gatherer's hut and whatnot down here as well, they're only going to feed that town. These ones, meanwhile, will feed that one, because that's where the road goes. This one here will also feed that one, but it'll be the only, these two here will not feed the town down here. Only that one, if that makes any sense. However, if I build a town over here, this gatherer's hut will feed both of them. And so on and so forth, kind of thing. So we kind of have to decide what it is exactly we're going to want to do, and you got to strategically plan everything out. Alright, so it is now early spring. Things seem to be doing fairly decent. It is snowing a little bit. What are we getting out of here? Nothing yet. Let's see. The one thing that is kind of itching at me is the fact that I don't actually have like any of these closer to this, which it's fine, but at the same point they gotta walk all this way. So one thing I might do is go ahead and build us a stone road going to right there, and this will basically be, I'm basically building a freeway. That's what I'm doing right here. The reserve on firewood is low, go figure. And then what I'll do is I'll build me a stone road going out here to these guys. And that will make them walk and run so much faster. Alright. So we've got a decent start. My workers are going to come out here and they're going to start building these roads. We'll see if they're building them or not. Okay, we're going to need one more forester going. You should have one, right? What's the hold up? Okay, yeah, there we go. They're not helping. There we go. There we go. Sometimes you gotta maneuver it weird. It's like, oh, well, two of us will be over here and one of you will be over there. It's like, how about 1 and 1? So you just kind of keep an eye on everything, make sure everything's going good. You want to keep an eye on your food. We're going to try and work on our food. We're going to try and get more firewood. The town's kind of good where it's at. There are very boring parts, so I'm going to try and take care of that off camera. And it's basically just going to be me sitting here while I gain food. We're up to year number 2. So I think that sounds like a good first episode, don't you guys? If you have any questions or anything, just leave me a comment. If you liked it, go ahead and like it. If you didn't like it, click dislike. I mean, I don't care. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, you guys. So, alright, that's going to do it for us today. I am firewilley, of course. So until our next episode, everybody, I will see you later.